GLO TV President Maurice Jamal. I'm so excited that we're kicking off our new news program here in Washington, D.C. And why are we here? Because it's the 40th annual legislative session of the Congressional Black Caucus. And for the first time in their 40-year history, the CBC has included urban LGBT issues as a main part of the event. So there are sessions and meetings that are critical to discussing issues that are important to the Black, gay, and lesbian community. We'll be talking to people like Reverend Jesse Jackson and Dr. Scott, the president of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. And we might even meet some other people. I'm not going to say anything. Obama? Reverend Jackson, you were talking about veterans today. You had some wonderful things to say. Any thoughts around don't ask, don't tell and the current process that the Obama administration is taking around that?
People should be able to serve based upon their work, their risk, their character, not their sexuality or their religion. We should just get beyond that. Because people serve, risk, and help based upon their sense of patriotism, their sense of dedication. And so we should remove those type barriers, whether it's gender, orientation, or religion. We should honor the creed of the flag. And if we do that, then we can get to the next level.
You know, we have a large gay and lesbian audience that also watches the network. Any words of advice or wisdom from one generation to younger people that are sometimes dealing with this issue, or Black moms that may be struggling with this issue in their families?
Well, I know this time, this is the first year, I think we've had a large delegation group of Black, lesbian, and gay people attending our conference. And so I think they've done a workshop and they've been talking to people. And so I think the important thing is for people to get to know people as individuals. Because I think when people start thinking about groups and they stereotype people, and then when you get to know somebody one-on-one, often it makes you have an appreciation more for their life and where they are and where they're going, and you see them as a human being as opposed to a stereotype.
Fantastic. Great words. Thank you, Dr. Scott. And obviously we know that Black women have been the heads of Black households for many years. There's a large number of gays and lesbians that are attending this year's conference for the first time. Any words of advice to Black women out there who are either dealing with this issue or Black moms who are struggling with this issue in their families?
Not struggling. I mean, you know, women and men who choose to be homosexuals, that's a choice that they make. We support them. We want them to be healthy and strong as well. We believe in all families, and families in America are being redefined. It's not a husband, wife, and 2 children anymore. It's different parts of that. So we support all people, and we look out to reach to them and to build a stronger family and a stronger nation.
Any words for African Americans that are dealing with the issue of sexual orientation and sometimes issues with the church and sort of how they reconcile all those things?
Well, you're asking me how do they reconcile it, or how does the church reconcile it?
Well, let's start with the church. I think that's a great question. How does the church reconcile that?
Well, I think the church in many respects have already made their statement about, denominations have already made their statements about where they are. The main thing that you need to keep in mind is that Jesus condemned the sin and never the sinner. And so that the love of God embraces everybody. The whosoever does not, the whosoever that is included in John 3:16 doesn't exclude anybody. So if the whosoever in John 3:16 doesn't exclude anybody, then how can we dare to exclude anybody? Does that help you? That's
a great statement. I appreciate it. Lesbian issues for some of the older women in our community that are sometimes dealing with this as an issue. What would you say from one generation to another?
You know what? I think it's the obvious. It's don't judge. God, I mean, I think it's just that. It's as clean and simple as not to stand in judgment. Who are we? But God, I mean, I love the Lord. I'll just say that. And I gave birth in January to an amazing initiative called Girlfriends Pray. And so I am a huge fan of Jesus. I'm a Jesus freak. And so while I am not perfect, but I serve a perfect God and God is excellent, what I learned is not to carry my Bible this thick to church and the activity of church Sunday after Sunday. But what I learned most is not to judge. And so for, you know, seasoned women, for seasoned people, even my grandmother, I remember when President Obama was running and she had all, you know, everything that she wanted to say about the other. I go, Grandma, now you can't, now the Jesus, now you need to, you following Jesus, Grandma, or you just, you know, no, I'm following, no, I love the Lord. But so I had to say, Grandma, you know, just don't judge, Grandma, don't judge. So I think it is, who are we to stand in judgment? It's very clean and simple, and that's our instruction from the Word.